Welcome to Nails and Networks. I'm Jeff Wilson. I've spent years coaching builders, remodelers, and specialty contractors, and I got deep into AI because I've seen firsthand what it does in my own business as well as to contractors' bottom line.
And I'm David Bernardino, fractional CMO and AI marketing geek. I work with builders and contractors and other folks around the industry to be smarter, more profitable, and more connected to their consumers.
So every episode, one thing happening in the industry, one real problem worth solving, one thing you can do about it come Monday morning. Today, your phone is ringing. Nobody's answering it, and it's costing you a lot more than you think.
And honestly, the number we're going to put on today is going to make you really uncomfortable. But that's how Jeff and I roll. So let's get on with it.
This show is for everyone, from the plumber running 3 trucks to the builder putting up hundreds of homes a year. We cut through the AI noise and show you what actually works in the field. Let me give you a quick industry pulse. AI adoption in construction has doubled year over year. 38% of contractors now report measurable business impact from AI. That's up from 17% just 12 months ago. And the top use case, cost estimation and bid management. Autodesk's 2026 outlook, and that's 25 experts, have said that this is the year AI stops being a future trend and becomes a baseline for you to operate in this industry. Equipment World polled contractors, and 34% your competitors are increasing their technology spend to offset labor and cost pressures. The early mover window is closing right now.
And since it's closing, that means there's real money on the table. And the thing is that most construction companies that I'm seeing, they're hiding their adoption of AI. It's almost like many of them are afraid to admit that they're using AI, but there are a bunch that are saying, hey, this is potentially a source of competitive advantage. There are a bunch of builders in Florida that I'm very familiar with that basically are out in the open with respect to their adoption of AI and use it as a way to be better, faster, and quicker. Because at the end of the day, this is all about speed to market. And if you think about it, when that potential customer submits a bid or submits a request for a quote, you're now on the clock. Time is money. And the faster you respond to that consumer, the faster you're going to win that job. And if you do that at scale, it means more money you're going to be taking.
Yeah, what you need to understand, and this is true as a builder, as a contractor, a plumber, if you don't respond to either a form filled out online, someone on chat, or a phone call within 5 minutes, they're going to work with the next person. You're gone, you're done. The most expensive part of marketing is not the campaign or brand. It's ignoring and wasting those leads.
And
Here's a number that should...
Yeah, ahead, Jeff.
Great. Yeah. Now, there are multiple studies, but in most businesses, it said that 27% of inbound calls to home service businesses go completely unanswered. And 60 to 70% are either unanswered or answered as much as 24 to 48 hours later, which means they're gone.
It's real money on the table. If you think about it, for each service call that you miss, it's around $275 to $1,200 in lost revenue. And this is from industry platform data over the past several years. So if you think about it, let's do simple math, $1,000 per missed service call. And maybe you're missing 2 or 3 a day. Just do the math. That's real money that you're leaving on the table.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And for larger businesses, it's the millions and tens of millions. Most contractors are missing a lot. And the scenario is, just take it, realize this. It's 7 p.m. Tuesday, and the homeowner's basement is leaking. They call the first 3 results that pop up on their phone, and your phone rings. They get voicemail. They don't leave a voicemail. They call the next number. The contractor picks up, books the estimate before you even know that somebody called.
And so if you think about it, have you asked yourself the question, how many calls are you missing? Do you actually have data on some of this stuff? Because honestly, when I talk to builders and contractors around the country, the usual thinking is that, I'll call them back. But by the time you call them back, because you might get the lead in the middle of the workday and you're at a job site or whatever. By the time you reach back out to that lead, might be the evening, might be the next day, that lead's already gone. Because you know what they're doing? Your average consumer is probably looking at 3, 4, 5 different options. And the old expression, the early bird gets the worm, that absolutely applies in this case. And so the key thing here is you can spend a couple $1,000s a month on Google ads. That's great. It's going to build brand awareness, but this is all about conversion, right? You can have the best campaigns in the world, but if you actually aren't converting those leads into actual opportunities and revenue, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. And that's the rub. And so the response time, key thing here is that leads contacted within 5 minutes are typically 9 times more likely to close than leads contacted after 30 minutes. So the window is super short, right? I can speak from my own experience. Jeff and I, we were nerding out about this a couple weeks ago. Maybe I'm looking at something in the evening, right after a long day of work, and I want to get a new deck. I go on AI, I go on ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm looking for contractors to do X. Plot comes a couple of leads for me as the potential client. I go onto their websites, I look at their capabilities, I hit the proverbial contact us button, because again, it's maybe late at night, after a long day of work and I need to get this off my plate. Do a chat or a website inquiry. I can, from personal experience, 85% of those leads don't even respond back. You know who gets the job? It's actually the one that actually makes the effort to respond back to me. It's as simple as that.
That's been my experience as a consumer dealing with, as a customer dealing with the construction industry, that typically call 3 to 5 people and only one will respond quickly, and one other will respond eventually, and 2/3, 60% won't respond at all. So what do you do about that? Well, in 2026, you now have real options that work. We'll call them AI receptionists. This isn't the old voicemail or the old auto attendant. This is a trained receptionist, an AI powered, that answers calls in less than 20 seconds or returns a call in less than 20 seconds. They qualify the lead, they answer your FAQs, and they book an appointment in your system. And there are programs such as Smith.ai, Rosie, GoHighLevel's built-in AI. These can handle 90 to 95% of all calls without escalation and fill up your calendar. The cost, typically all in, anywhere from $199 a month to maybe $497 a month. Compare that to a live answering service or a full-time receptionist. A live answering service is $300 to $800 a month plus per call charges. A receptionist or someone who's answering your phones, they're only answering the phones during business hours. AI is on the job 24/7, and they either answer or return the call in 5 to 20 seconds. No one else can do that.
And so you're probably thinking, gosh, I don't want a robot answering my phone, right? You don't want, we've all had those horrible experiences, for those of us in the building industry that travel a lot, and we've had the displeasure of having to call, Delta Airlines customer service or, Spirit customer service, right? It's a dog's breakfast at best. We're not talking about that. We're talking about delighting the consumer at a critical moment of truth. They're coming to you with a potential opportunity where they need help. And at the end of the day, by being able to respond to them when they're most receptive to being responsive, which is that at that particular moment, your likelihood of converting them and starting the process of delighting them as you go through the project lifecycle significantly increases. And the other argument that I would say is that this is a productivity play. It's not like you're replacing people. You're covering hours that nobody's working at the end of the day. As Jeff alluded to earlier, your standard human receptionist is working, call it 9 to 5, 8 to 6 or whatever. This is a 24/7 thing, and you can do it in a way where this person sounds human. And the benefit is that you as a contractor, you as a builder will act or be perceived to be more professional, more human, because you responded in a timely manner. Imagine that, right? In an industry where your average consumer has horror stories about their experiences with builders and contractors, being able to respond instantaneously with a response to their inquiry, it gives the consumer the perception of, I'm being heard, I'm being seen. Imagine that if you're able to deliver that from the start of the project all the way to the end. Your Google reviews will skyrocket. Your testimonials are going to be through the roof. You will start to compound growth because you're doing it in a way which, let's be honest, most other builders and contractors cannot match.
Now, I'm going to blow up a major misconception. You're not choosing between a human and a robot. You're choosing between a robot and either voicemail or no voicemail or no message or no contact. It's a robot or nothing. Your AI receptionist is not replacing your receptionist or office manager. It's covering the 14 hours a day that your receptionist isn't at their desk, or you're not available. You're in a meeting. It could be Saturday afternoon. It could be Tuesday at 7 p.m. It could be in the middle of the day, but you're in a meeting on a job site. You're there when they need you, and they're reaching out, and they need to get on the schedule now.
And here's the rub. The consumer, your potential customers, are already doing it. And in fact, you're doing it yourself, because think of Walmart Plus. Think of Amazon.com, right? A lot of times you'll just go to Alexa and say, hey, Alexa, I need X. Or it's late at night and you're like, holy crap, I forgot to get, milk, eggs, or whatever, or I need something for a particular thing. You're not going to wait until the next day to find that thing. Chances are you're going on your phone. You're logging on to Amazon or Walmart or one of the other e-commerce sites. You're searching for the item. You're clicking it. You're purchasing it. And depending on where you're at, it might be on your front doorstep the next morning. So you're probably already doing it yourself. Chances are your potential customers are already doing it. And so if you don't reapply these best practices into your own business, someone else will. And then as time goes on, the longer you wait to do this, the bigger the gap is going to be between you and that other firm down the street that is already starting to do this at scale.
Here's what I want you to do before your next cup of coffee on Monday. Go into your call log from the last 30 days. Count how many inbound calls went to voicemail or didn't make it to voicemail. Multiply that number by your average job value. That number, that's how much is leaking out of your business every month. Just pick one AI receptionist tool this week. It could be Smith.ai, Rosie, or go to GoHighLevel. You look at and test a missed call text back right now. It takes 10 minutes to set up. You'll recover leads this week, literally in 10 minutes.
And once this is covered, make sure your Google business profile and website are set up to handle the follow through, the reviews, the response time, the badges. Make sure your website has clear calls to action that say schedule an appointment or schedule a free consultation or whatever you do as part of your customer journey. Make sure that your website and all different parts of your marketing stack are covered. And over the next 30 days, track your answered call rate before and after. Again, your data is going to convince you one way or the other, and I'm a firm believer. What gets measured gets done. So track it. Be methodical about this. What Jeff is suggesting is a crawl, walk, run approach. This is crawling. Just go test out some of these platforms. Take the 10 minutes to do it and see what happens. And then if you actually find something that works and you're starting to see that the proof of concept is actually delivering results, scream it at the top of your lungs, because at the end of the day, remember, your consumer, your potential customer, probably already has a negative bias towards builders and contractors because they've been fleeced in the past. So make this part of your brand. Make it known that, you know what, you're professional, you're responsive, even before they're a customer. Just make it part of who you are.
David, I'm going to give everyone an opportunity, and I'm going to suggest that there's a number that's going to be below in our chat. Call that number and have a live demo of what a system like this works. Test it out. Understand this is what your competitors are doing. Use it. Book an appointment. Ask it questions. And you'll see it's not the voicemail or the old stupid robots of old. That's episode 1 of Nails and Networks. Next week, the labor shortage. How many construction companies struggle to find and keep people? That's one of the biggest problems we hear all the time, right, David? We've got the numbers and what you can actually do about it. We'll see you then.
Have a good week.
Thanks, David. Everyone, have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye now.